So I would ask that you really seriously reconsider your decision here, that you reverse this decision, that you stop interfering with Ms. Clouse's ability to do her job. So thank you.
Please reconsider your decision, reverse that decision, wait until the investigation is finished. And Commissioner Clouse, we've got your back. Thank you.
A few moments later.
Before we move forward, I have a statement to make. So in response to some of the statements that have been made here in response to Commissioner Clouse, I'm so disappointed and incredibly frustrated. I am disappointed because I'm seeing what I myself have experienced and what other people of color experience over and over. I myself have been scared to speak out because it's easier to believe the white woman tears and easier to paint the narrative of an angry brown woman. This is the reason that people of color are afraid to speak up and to confront. Because the only time people care to hear about our side of the story is when we are laying dead on the street.
This video was intended to inform and educate the public.
I do have a motion. I would move to appoint the alternates for boards and commissioners currently held by Commissioner Clouse until an investigation is complete.
We have a motion to change Commissioner Clouse's appointed boards and commissions and appoint the alternate as the primary until an investigation has been completed. Do we have a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes.
1 week later.
Before we move forward, I have a statement to make. So in response to some of the statements that have been made here in response to Commissioner Clouse, I just want to say that, first of all, I'm so disappointed and incredibly frustrated. These past 3 weeks have been a waste of government resources, taxpayer money, and a huge emotional burden. I am disappointed because I'm seeing what I myself have experienced and what other people of color experience over and over in these systems. I've seen the situation play out a million times. I myself have been scared to speak out because it's easier to believe the white woman tears and easier to paint the narrative of an angry brown woman. It's easy for her to say that I don't like her and for people to believe her than for people to know why I'm keeping my distance and the way she has made me feel. Commissioner Clouse has used her position of power and system and made it work for her. This is the reason that people of color are afraid to speak up and to confront. Because the only time people care to hear about our side of the story is when we are laying dead on the street. But when it's people trying to use the system to silence people of color, we comfort them, we support them. None of you have ever cared to think about the person who stepped forward is doing, how they also deserve accountability, how their mental or emotional health is doing. Before anyone says I'm making this a race issue, I am laying out the truth of my experience and the experience of people of color. And how did your attorney put it? Something that happens every day in America's workplace. This is not political vindictiveness. I have nothing politically to gain from this, and honestly not what motivated me to run or why I continue to serve. I'm holding Commissioner Clouse to the same standards of what I would expect from any elected official in this community if confronted with a complaint like this. Thank you. I will excuse myself for the rest of this meeting.
Good evening, Commissioners. Thank you for the opportunity to speak today. My name is Jeff Sowers. I live over on 33rd Avenue Northeast near Friendly Grove, near the new Salish Park. I'm here to speak in support of Emily Clouse, who I think has been doing incredible and amazing job as our a newly elected Thurston County Commissioner. I worked on her campaign, and I was really excited to see her get elected. And now I guess I'm here asking that you respect the voters of Thurston County and the results of the last election, where Ms. Clouse received more than 60% of the vote, and reinstate her full powers and authority so that she can do the job we elected her to do. I have to say, I'm appalled. I was shocked when I read about this in the paper. I was angered that the other commissioners took this action to remove Ms. Clouse from her position on the boards and commissions and limiting her ability to interact with county staff. I do want to say I want to thank Ty Mincer for not supporting these unjustified actions taken against Ms. Clouse. He fortunately had the good sense to listen to the county prosecuting attorney and did not participate in this. Not only are you taking these unwarranted actions to remove a commissioner's power, you did it behind closed doors in an executive session, so we can't really see what's going on. And I understand there's been a complaint, but to take this kind of dramatic action against another commissioner before the investigation has even begun is premature and outrageous. The whole thing feels underhanded and undemocratic to me. Emily Clouse was elected by the voters of this county to serve as our commissioner under the laws of the Constitution of the state of Washington, under the laws and the Constitution of the state of Washington. And I don't think you can just ignore that democratic process and take it upon yourself to restrict her ability to carry out her elected functions. I went to the RCW and I looked at what the duties are of a county commissioner. As you know, you have both legislative and executive functions, and I understand she's here tonight or to this afternoon and is able to be on the board in her legislative capacity. But by removing her from these boards and commissions, restricting her ability to interact with county staff, you're interfering with her ability to carry out her executive functions, which is one of our previous speakers just pointed out is actually the majority of your job. And there's a long list of executive functions in the RCW. It's like there's 4 pages of them. I actually read through them all. It's all the stuff the county has to do: health care, juvenile curfews, low-income housing, on and on. Lots of stuff. Nowhere does it mention authority to remove another commissioner's authority. So my opinion, you've exceeded your authority in taking this action. I read that you thought you were doing it as a precautionary measure. Well, this doesn't seem very cautionary to me. It's kind of a bold and dramatic action that I think is of questionable legality. So I would ask that you really seriously reconsider your decision here, so that you reverse this decision, that you stop interfering with Ms. Clouse's ability to do her job. So thank you.
Thank you. Sid Locke is next, and then I will address the remaining parts of the list. You have 4 minutes, sir.
Good afternoon, commissioners. For the record, my name is Sid Locke. I live in West Olympia. Previous speaker summed up a lot of my feelings as well. I am a supporter of Commissioner Clouse, and I feel like the action by the commissioners have been an overreaction. And I would hope that you can reverse that action. I feel like it's premature. You should wait until after the investigation is completed. And I feel like it's punitive. And it's not just punitive to Commissioner Clouse, but it's punitive to all the people who voted for her, all the people who support her, because we want a commissioner who can fully participate. And right now we're not getting that. So I'll just be brief. Please reconsider your decision, reverse that decision, wait until the investigation is finished, And Commissioner Clouse, we've got your back. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. My name is John Pettit. I live off Rich Road, Deschutes River Ranch. I'm going to talk about a couple different things, but I think that it was interesting having a couple proclamations. Now, my difference of how I look at things is, should we have a proclamation for International Overdose Awareness Day, or should we have every day being an important day for the awareness for overdose? Should we just do this one time a year? Oh, we've said our words. How about actions? How about making this something that is so important to us that we pay attention to it more than one day a year? More than just hiring some staff to try to bring some things into a little bit of alignment. Whether it's Target Zero, whether it's Overdose Awareness Day, whether it's a variety of these things, Earth Day, every day is important enough to take note of these items. And I think that it kind of leads me into the next part, which is, as commissioners, I realize you have legislative duties and you have administrative duties. And surprising probably to you is, of course, my opinion is you have about 15% legislative duties, about 85% administrative duties, the budget, which is a whole lot of what you're designed to do. And what this amounts to is, with 5 commissioners here, we need to be working as a machine. Like your car going down the road. You could have the fanciest, best car in the world out there. But you know, it just takes having one flat tire and that car is just not working. Your wasted efforts. You have to work together. Sometimes you may have to pick up and help somebody over there, another one of your commissioners that needs a little help or guidance. But we can't decide, well, that one's just no good, we're not going to use that. Let's work with each other. Let's make this effective, which means whatever it takes, we need to listen. We are fortunate. You guys have been very fortunate. I've observed through many years and a whole variety of different people. You now have what I think is probably the best county manager that I've ever seen at Thurston County. And it's interesting because, as it goes, my father, who was a commissioner back in like 1980, he actually hired the very first county manager. His name was Charlie Earl. He came from over in Yakima, Wenatchee area. And yeah, he did a whole lot of work, but he didn't have 3 or 4 helpers either. But I think you guys, if you can use the expertise and skills that have already been demonstrated by your new county manager, listen to him, and then start acting like executives and understand that you're only as good as all the people, all the employees that work for Thurston County. We all need to be being paid the proper amounts, being treated with respect. And if you're not doing anything with some of your extra time, maybe you can even go help out in some of these departments so you get hands-on to understand what's going on. So I'm going to encourage a little bit more bonding time between the commissioners and the staff in Thurston County. And let's make this place run like a good, efficient machine. And let's have it organized under the good leadership that you now have available to you to help guide you. Thank you.
Hope you liked this video. Thanks for watching.